Hi, I'm John from worldmagicshop.com and welcome to Tac-Tick by Victor Sands. Tac-Tick is a great effect using something that's an everyday object, a box of Tic Tacs. You have a drawing on the outside of the box which penetrates to the inside of the Tic Tac box, and you can then wipe that off and hand that out to the spectators. This can be used in conjunction with any effect that you have that incorporates Tic Tacs, so we're going to get straight into what you receive with Tac-Tick. Okay, so the gimmicks that you will receive with Tac-Tick, you will receive 2 Tic Tac boxes, and you will receive two pieces of plastic, and along with 4 magnets. So we will now get into the construction of Tac-Tick itself. So the extra pieces that you will need to create Tac-Tick, you will need a Stanley blade or X-Acto knife or whatever you've got. You'll need some double-sided tape. This Scotch tape is perfect. You will need some lighter fluid, any brand of lighter fluids, perfect. A ruler of some sort, the metal ones are very good, and just a glass or anything to tip Tic Tacs into. Now, when you're using knives and lighter fluid, please ask an adult if you're underage. And be very careful when you're using them. So firstly, what we need to do is we need to remove this sticker or this lid without tearing the sticker. The best way to do this is take your knife, and where the top and the bottom join, we need to cut straight across through the sticker using the lip as a guide. You do this on both sides. Again, try to follow the actual join to get it as straight as possible. You then need to remove this, ideally without breaking the sticker on the top. So you may need to use your knife just to gently prise open the top like this. You remove the top and you then just empty out this packet of Tic Tacs into your glass. We then need to remove this back sticker. Okay, and the best way to do this is very carefully just peel off the corner of the sticker. You don't need to go too hard, it's just the blade will do the work for you. And the best way to remove these stickers without leaving any marks or the sticker tearing is to use a bit of lighter fluid. Now you don't need a lot. What you do is you put a small dab like that, and the sticker will then just peel off very, very easily. A bit more on once you've managed to clear the whole length, and now what happens is the lighter fluid will follow the sticker down, which means the sticker comes off very easily. And that can be discarded, you don't need that sticker. And using lighter fluid, you can use the lighter fluid to remove this printing just here, or some heat. You know, if you want to put a hairdryer on it, the heat will also remove it. But again, put some lighter fluid there, just small dab, and as you rub, that will come off. It's important not to use nail varnish remover or acetone or something like that, because that will melt the plastic. So therefore you now have a clean back and you've removed what you need to. Now that can be put to the side at the moment, and you come back to this box. And on this box, all we're going to do is take off the whole sticker. Okay, now we want to try and do this in one. So starting on the back, same motion, take the corner up very slowly. Okay, and using a bit of lighter fluid, dab it in, so the sticker can just gradually peel away. It is important to not do this too fast because you do need this sticker. So again, go nice and slow. Tiny bit of lighter fluid that will follow the sticker down. Slowly go in. This top bit is where it would may tear, so again go very slowly across. Just like this. And once you've started the top bit, you can then put a tiny bit of lighter fluid just there. I always try and clear the top because this Tic Tac box, you can then eat the Tic Tacs after. So it's a good effect that you can keep fresh breath with. So coming down, the sticker comes straight off. They can be put aside because at the moment we don't need to come to them. What you now need to do is take one of your pieces of plastic. The other ones are spare, but you only need one. Now it is slightly tapered in, very, very slightly, and that's so it sits inside and sits in the groove at the bottom just here. So make sure you get the top end. You lay that directly on top of the box, and now you need to align this sticker with this the front sticker. So you're just laying it over the top. Okay, so we'll do this just like this. It's important to try and get it as close as you can. Now it is going to be a little bit slippy because it's going to have lighter fluid on still, but once you've got it in place, push it down and then remove it. I turn it over and I just really make sure I push this down and get all the air bubbles out like this. What you now need to do is taking your knife, you need to cut the sticker off using the top of the plastic as a guide. So pressing fairly hard, not too hard if you've got a nice blade, but just follow it along like this. And you need to keep this to the side because you're going to come back to this piece of sticker here. And then you have the front that will match up with that part there. What we now need to do is take two of the magnets, and these need to be placed on the extreme corners here behind the sticker itself. I've tried this with super glue, and because super glue can also make the plastic go cloudy, I do find that using this double-sided tape is the best option, because it can be taken off and readjusted if necessary, but you know that it won't mark the plastic. So if it's a bit long, you can cut a tiny bit off with the knife. You just want it to sit within the sticker itself, and take in two of the magnets. You place one at the corner. The good thing with double-sided tape is you can, if you don't quite get it near the top, take it off and readjust it. So you want it to go as close to the edges as possible, and you do this on both sides of the sticker, just like this, and push those down, and that is the two magnets attached to the front here. The next stage is to put some magnets on the top part of the Tic Tac box. So making sure you get the right side, put it to the front aligned, turn it over, and the magnets need to go in here. So this top part will sit and stick to effectively the back of the box when the top is on. So making sure here, they go here and here. And again, you use a piece of double-sided tape. And stick that in as best as you can, or as high up as you can, like this. And you're going to do the same. If you place the top here, take one of the magnets. Now they will jump into place and attract to each other, but you want them to sit as high up as possible. And you do that both sides, push them down, and this can then be removed. And that is pushed so they're nice and secure. Now you will also receive a small piece of plastic, and what this is for, this is to stick on top of the magnets just here. Again, what this does is it just keeps everything white inside, so there's no flash of a magnet if you're concerned about that at all. And again, the best option there is using some double-sided tape. You place the double-sided tape on top of the magnets, taking your plastic. You may need to cut your plastic down slightly to make it sit as best as possible. That goes inside like so, and that just hides the magnets inside of the top. Now that will then stick onto there like so. What we now need to do is put the sticker that you put to the side onto the back here. Now the best way around this is it has to sit behind this sticker so they cover each other up. So what we're trying to do here is we need to lay this reversed over the top of this sticker like so. And we're going to just bend it over the side just so we've got a bit of grip. This is probably the hardest part actually, or the fiddliest part, because it's so sticky and you have to kind of have it sticky side up. And then what's going to happen is that is going to sit on the back of the box. So making it as square as possible, because what you're trying to achieve is that when this sits inside, this hides behind this sticker. So this is the hardest part, if you can see what I'm trying to achieve here. That's it, and like so. Again, once that's on, push the sticker down, and we're going to do the same. Cut off the excess like this. That can be discarded, and when that top is on, that sits behind, and that's your gimmick actually constructed, ready for performance. This sits on there, and what happens is the initial drawing is placed here, but of course that is actually the back of the box. And when this sits inside, it sits this way around, and of course the sticker is hidden again behind here. Just an extra thought, if you, just to double check that everything aligns fully, when you've stuck this sticker on, and do you remember I was saying how the fiddlier part is making sure the back sticker is on correctly? Well, when you're performing the trick, to make sure the front sticker is on, you need to put this inside reversed. So because the drawing is going to be on this side, which when you come to perform the effect and you wipe it off, this needs to be reversed inside the box. And you just align that up, and you just need to make sure this sticker covers this one as best as possible. And if it doesn't, again you use the same method we did before, a small piece of lighter fluid to remove this sticker or loosen it, and you can just adjust it so it covers that completely. Therefore, when you go to wipe off the drawing at the end, if you have a small discrepancy around this sticker, you know, you can cover that up as best as possible. But people's focus are here, it's not here, so I wouldn't worry too much, but if that happens, you can resolve it that way. One point, if you are concerned about these being flashed at all, you can cover these up with a normal piece of white A4 paper, or you can put some Tipp-Ex over them, anything white, a label, just to cover them up. But it's not necessary, they don't get seen, but if you are concerned, there is that option. So that is your gimmick constructed, and we are now going to go through the handling of Tac-Tick. Okay, so I'm going to go through a really basic routine, and as I go through the routine, I'm just going to show you the moves that actually happens. Now this is already preset, so once you've made the gimmick, all you need to do is make sure that the piece of plastic is sitting on the back of the box, and you're all set, as long as you've got a dry white marker of some sort. The Sans Mind Sharp is very good for this also. So you ask a spectator to draw on the front of the box, and you ask them to draw, you need to bear in mind it has to be symmetrical, so this could be anything such as an ESP symbol, and it's good to probably ask for an ESP symbol like a cross or a circle or wavy lines, because they are symmetrical and it would fit into a routine that we're going to go through shortly. So you ask the spectator to draw on the outside. Now bearing in mind this is only magnetised on and can move, so as long as you're gripping it to the side, then it won't move. So you get them to draw on it, so say they draw a cross, or they could draw a smiley face. You could talk about having a nice smile when you've got minty breath, whatever you need to do. Now what you need to do is you need to empty the Tic Tacs out. So the move is as simple as this. You lift the top of the flap up. That's something to grip, because what's going to happen, and I'll do it for the camera here, as you pull, try and do it from this angle, as you pull the top up like this, the front panel, or what is affecting on the back, will come into your hand. Now bearing in mind the spectator still thinks there's a draw in here, so just be mindful of that as you go to tip them out. So you tip the Tic Tacs out into your bowl or the spectator's hands. Now as you go back in to push this back, what you need to do is you go halfway down and you pull the top towards you. And what that does, that drops this panel to the front, into the front recess along the bottom. So when you put the top back on, it's at the right angle. If you go forward, it tends to flick it that way and it sits incorrectly inside. So by pulling it towards yourself, it makes sure it drops down to the front. You then you then put the top back on, just like this, and you can say, you know, the drawing at the front, if you watch very carefully, you're actually going to push the drawing through the box. As you rub, the drawing goes inside the box. You show it can't be rubbed off in any way. You then remove the top. Bearing in mind you just want to hold this a little bit so there's no movement, and then you go in with your little finger, try and do it for this camera, and you go and rub the drawing off. And in the action of pulling your finger out, you can then pull the gimmick away as you hand them the box. This can then go in your pocket as you go and get a mint, and of course that's a misdirection to end completely clean. And that's a really basic handling of that. What we're going to go through now is a kind of a routine that incorporates Tic Tac boxes and gives justification for putting the top back on and removing the top. Okay, so this is a more advanced handling, something that builds a bit of a routine into it, and it's based on an old effect that uses coins.
This is called the trick that fooled Einstein, but it works equally well with mints, and it's great that not only are you doing the great effect where the design penetrates the box, which could not be as strong if you just did that as standalone effect. I think it's nice if you've got a bit of a time delay and a trick's happening, and then you go back to that design and you do something amazing to kind of top and tail the mentalism.
Right. Yeah. We're going to show you that now. So just do me a favour, choose one of these for me.
That one.
Okay, so on here I'm going to draw a symbol.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it fairly simple, so give me a simple design, triangle, circle, anything.
Triangle.
Triangle. Okay, you want a triangle. So I'm going to try and draw this on the camera for you so you can see. You draw it fairly bold, or just draw anything that they say, as long as it's symmetrical. Now I want you to tip your Tic Tacs into your bowl, and I'm going to do exactly the same.
Okay.
Okay.
All of them, yeah?
All of the Tic Tacs in the bowl.
That's
okay.
it. That's all of them.
Yeah, and I've done the same. Okay. Now I want you to just take a random amount of Tic Tacs out of your bowl. Don't let me see, so you can put the glass to the side, and I'm going to do exactly the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, I've done that.
Okay. Now bring it here and just keep your fists closed.
Yeah.
And I want you to just to shake them in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know how many you've got, but I'm going to make a prediction here that I've got the same amount as you, plus 2 more, and enough to take you to 27 Tic Tacs.
Enough to take me, enough to add up.
Enough to add up to 27.
Right, okay,
yeah. So
okay.
I'm going to have the same as you, plus 2 more, and then enough to add up to 27. Okay. So if you count yours down one at a time.
Right. Here we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11.
You've got 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to take a look at how many I have. So I've got the same as you. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got the same as you.
Yeah.
My prediction was plus 2 more.
Yeah.
So I'll have the same as you plus 2 more.
Yeah.
Then enough to bring yours to 27.
Right, so I've got 11.
You've got 11. So let's do this again. We've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
It
Now-
is amazing.
Now, do you know the funny thing is, you know the symbol that we draw on here, the triangle, if you watch carefully, it's actually no longer on the outside of the box. It's actually gone inside the box, where you can rub that off, and there you go. Have a take a look.
There you go. So it is an amazing routine. Should we talk about how that works?
Yeah, I think so. I think
It fools me.
Okay, so this is the explanation of that performance.
You're going to actually try and explain it.
Yeah, well, it kind of just works. It's amazing, really.
It's a really baffling thing. It's hard to work out and hard to get your head round. I think I'm nearly there, and we'll try and explain it to you.
Yeah.
Because it works very well with coins, loose change, but it works very, very well with mints.
So you go into your normal routine of getting them to, well, you equivocate, basically.
Yeah, you said
the
choose
Tic-Tac.
one for me. Now that can either, when they say, well, you say choose one for me, you could be asking them to pick one for themselves or pick one for you. So whichever one they point to, you go, if they say choose one for me, they say this, you take this one. Choose one for me.
They take this,
You
take
pick,
this.
you pick it up.
That's correct. And then you get them to give you a very simple design.
Smiley
face. So this time we're going to do a smiley face.
It's good to go sort of big and bold with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it shows up really well.
That's it. Give them like a hat this time. So then you're going to ask the spectator to empty their Tic Tacs into the bowl, and you're going to do exactly the same. And this is great misdirection for you to do really the hardest move in this, which is to steal this away and put it back in.
When I was your spectator and I was doing this, I've got to say, you're not even interested what you're doing over there.
No.
But of course, you're doing the move.
And remember, as you're doing it, and I'm trying to do it for camera, it's a bit of a weird angle, apologies, as you're bringing this away, keeping this covered, yours get tipped into here, and remember, as that goes back in, you're going to come away towards you, so it drops it in the centre, and then you put the top back on, and this just gets left down. And you was even saying that you could just leave this face up, because
I don't think anybody can see it. Like, if you look at that on the camera there, we've got some lighting in the studio, but because the design's kind of gone, it's forgotten about now, people aren't even looking at that. But that's there, that can stay down there.
One thing I would say with that, I don't bother putting the top in just through speed, because you're doing quite a quick thing, empty and putting the top back on and throwing it down. But the other reason is, because Tic Tacs aren't made to have double thickness of wall here, and there's another piece of plastic in there, if pushed down, that can bow slightly, it may draw attention.
You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so you just put it on.
And naturally in the routine, and when you do the effect, you're going to remove that gimmick,
yeah,
however you're going to do that, or and then you're going to wipe it, and then you can put it on properly.
Correct,
but at this moment, you're more concerned with this, you're a little bit rushed, and you're kind of going, right, just get the Tic Tacs out, and this isn't important at this stage, even though it stays kind of in view.
That's it.
Right, so what do you tell me to do next?
I then now take you to just take a handful of yours out of your bowl, and I don't want to see how many you take.
Now, we should mention that we know that you've got how many in there?
There's 32 in here.
Right, so you start, if you're going to do this prediction, with 32.
Correct.
In that bowl.
As long as you know how many you got there.
John directs me, the spectator, to take some out. Not all of them, leave a few in there and hide that from him. But you're going to take a specific amount, aren't you?
Now, I take all of them apart from 3. So I just literally take nearly every single one, and I just make sure I leave 3 behind.
Right. Now, so that means you've got 29 in your hand.
That's correct.
Okay. So
I now get you to pretend to shake them.
Yep.
So there's kind of
That's
pretending to try and figure out how many are in there. And I now make a prediction. And I say, or the prediction would be, I have the same as you.
Yeah.
Plus 2 more, and enough to bring you to 27.
Enough for yours to add, when added to yours, will make 27.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. As long as, because I know in my bowl there was more than in yours anyway.
Don't start to try and explain it.
No,
You'll only confuse me.
Yeah.
It just works.
It just works. So, as long as I've left 3 behind, you just say, count how many you have.
Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so you have 11. So my prediction was, I have the same as you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 2 more.
Yeah.
2 extra.
2 more.
And enough to bring yours to 27. So you've got 11. So it goes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
It is amazing.
And it just works.
It's because you've got 29 and you take 2 away from it as part of the prediction.
Yes.
That you end up with 27 left.
Correct, that's it, yeah.
Because if you, I guess trying to explain it, like this plus these is going to be that 33, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
So that's the 33 over there. And if you take, you've got the 33, I take some out, you take out 29 of the 33. First of all, you're eliminating what I've got, which is actually taking them away from your amount.
27.
And it's taking 2 away from your amount, and then all you're doing is you're adding whatever's left to theirs.
Yeah.
And it's so simple when you think about it, but under the guise of all what's going on, you actually can't follow it.
No.
And it does seem incredible, and it's quite suspenseful when you're counting at the end and you're left with none. And if you wanted to, of course, you could have that prediction written down, if you wanted to.
I mean, how could Einstein not get this right? But then anyway,
I think that's the title. I'm not sure if it did actually fall
and then
Einstein.
of course you've got that time misdirection to then go back to the original box.
So you can say at the start of this, do you remember we drew this design on here? And you could talk about if you were going to try and work that out, how I did that, you'd certainly have to think outside of the box.
Yeah, well, yes. Absolutely.
Or something like that. But I don't like to think outside the box, I like to think inside of the box. And if you just watch really slowly, and from a presentational point here, you have to do something here to make the magic happen. Make sure you make a move, and then I would say just try and rub that off. And really make this important. Just try and rub that off, John. And they try to rub and say, do you know why you can't rub it off? Because it's not on the outside anymore. It's on the inside.
No, it's on the inside.
You have to think inside the box sometimes.
Yeah,
and then
you just take the top off, and using your finger, you can then rub that
and
off.
that is amazing that that's inside when you do that. Now, a couple of ways to do this. You've got this way, haven't you? Which is under the misdirection, you look them in the eye and you just let your little finger strip it away.
Yeah.
Or you could use that, what was used for the imp bottle many years ago. Do you remember that wooden little bottle that used to lay down? And you could lay it down, then it had like a nail in it, and as you handed it to the spectator, the nail, it's kind of a similar move to that. So I'll do it with my left hand so the camera can pick it up. But it drops down into your hand as you hand it over to the spectator. I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed normally, but yeah, you let it come out of your hand like this as you would hand it to the spectator. So you'd be there and you would just hand it straight over. And that works quite naturally. You've done the trick with the box, you hand over that, and like you said before on the explanation, if you pick up a mint there, so you do something with the dirty hand, put the mint in your mouth and then put the pen away in your pocket, you're actually getting rid of all the evidence. And when they put this back on, they're not going to find anything. If they look inside, because you've got the extra bit of plastic there,
they won't see.
You can't see the magnets, you can't see anything. And remember, the trick happened down here. It is quite an amazing effect to see that design go through there.
Yeah, there's various, you can just sitting at the table, you can lap it. You can, as long as you just, but their focus is on the box. It's never on your hand, so you've got plenty of time to remove that. So that's the advanced handling for Tac-Tick. So that's Tac-Tick by Victor Sands. Would love to see how you're performing this, the reactions that you get. So do post it on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/World Magic Shop. I'd like to say thank you for Victor Sands for submitting the idea. And if you have an effect you'd like to show us, then please send it to sales@worldmagicshop.com. I'm John from worldmagicshop.com. Once again, thank you for purchasing Tac-Tick by Victor Sands, and I'll catch you soon.
Recoja bien la cámara, grabáis que sea un trazo así gordo, más o menos. Vamos a que coja bien ahí el encuadre. ¿Qué tal? ¿Se ve bien? El dibujo de este y la cara sonriente de este. ¿Puedes dejar el rotulador aquí? Voy a intentarlo, no sé si saldrá, no sé si saldrá. Pon las manos así porque voy a sacar los caramelos de dentro de la caja. ¿Cuántos caramelos crees que puede haber aquí dentro? Más o menos.
20.
¿20?
25.
Da igual realmente cuántos hay, o sea, una estimación.
25.
No pasa nada, mira, los puedes dejar aquí. No tiene nada que ver los caramelos, lo importante es el dibujo que tú has hecho. ¿Vale? Es lo importante, mira. Porque si yo hago así... ¿Te acuerdas que antes lo has podido borrar, verdad?
Está por.
Pasa el dedo ahora. Puedes borrarlo ahora, ¿verdad que no?
No.
Pasa el dedo. ¿Qué es lo que ha pasado? El dibujo, Laura, el dibujo, la tinta ha atravesado las partículas del plástico de la caja y ahora el dibujo está dentro. ¿Te lo puedes creer?
Sí, lo veo.
Y hasta aquí el truco. No, mira, ¿se ve bien ahí en cámara? No se puede borrar. Mira, voy a jugar, porque sé que pensáis que os estoy engañando a todos. Voy a dejar esto aquí. Estoy hasta nervioso. Voy a meter el dedo aquí dentro. No sé si lo verá bien la cámara. Y atenta a tu dibujo este. Claramente. Se puede ver cómo puedo borrar desde dentro. Tu dibujo este.
¡Wow!
¡Wow!